mom and dad used to always say, your word is everything and your promise is everything. And if you don't fulfill those, you have no value. I remember my mom taking me to the Goodwill store. I found something I liked. I remember her saying, well, we don't have the money for that today, but maybe we could do that next week. I don't know if that's where you become an entrepreneur, but I wanted to have money to buy something. That's where I started my business career at 12 years old, working for an upholstery shop. I think it changed my life because every day after school, instead of going and playing sports, I would go to work. I felt that it was where I wanted to be. At 15, I went to ask him for a raise and he wouldn't give it to me, so he can only afford $1 an hour. I went home to my mom and dad and I asked for a loan for $10,000, which they didn't have, and they subsequently got a second mortgage on their home to do that, and I opened my own company. I ran that company up until I was 17, all the way through high school. We sold the company for $178,000. So I set aside the money to go to college, and then I remodeled my parents' house with the balance of it and put a big smile on their face. I always loved doing deals. You can really transform something. You've got a raw piece of dirt, you come up with a design, you negotiate your way through the city, and you've got architects and engineers, and you've got structural people, and then you've got a tenant that has their concerns. Because a real estate transaction is only as good as the income that it creates. I get to work with the legal side of it to negotiate documents that have depth and strength, and really you understand the flavor of a transaction when you have the ability of negotiating those documents. Because in real estate, the deal only survives because of the document.
He studies it. He's up at 3 in the morning, reading letters of intent and going over every single detail.
Ruth and I have this really cool relationship. She has a work ethic that is second to none. She loves to help people. You can just see the excitement. And I think I have that same kind of excitement in what I do.
How we've worked it out with Walt and I is that I do about 7 to 10 24-hour shifts a month. So I fly back, I operate, and just whatever gets thrown at me, I do it, and then I'm off for the rest of the month. So it's pretty ideal.
I've found a way to push her into the stuff that I do to, one, really understand what I do and to get involved with it. Now she's working on design and she helps and adds value to it and throws in suggestions, and I think we're the best partners we could ever have.
I think as a couple, doing things that you create together, it's rewarding on so many different levels, and you build that rapport, you build that relationship, and then we have things to give to our children, and there's a lot of joy in that. I think staying in touch with not being attached to anything is part of our life too, because you never know. You go through cycles, tragedies happen, you could lose everything at any moment. So having success is being able to not be attached to all that.
Our world today needs charitable donations, support, and help. And you really have to take the time to budget that every year to make sure that you're giving back and protecting some of those that really need it. It's really important to us. We love doing it. A great mentor, to me, takes the time to help other people. At this point in my career, I love being the mentor. With my team at Diversified, I love sitting down and talking through every question one of those young individuals have. And when you have someone that really listens and then executes, I think that's the greatest thing in the world, because then when you fine-tune it a little bit and you ask them, hey, are you happy? Are you enjoying what you do? That's the first question, because the rest of it is easy from there. I'm so passionate about what I do that I feel like I've never worked a day in my life. I think I've achieved success with just that in itself.
Feels good to be putting a board bag in the car again. Haven't done that in a while, eh? One thing about being injured, you fucking get sick of crew asking what's wrong with you, eh? Like, well, if I could surf, I'd surf. Like, that's fucking plain and simple. And yeah, for where I'm at right now, I'm feeling pretty good. You know, I'm going pretty hard in the surf, going back to doing some airs and that. Obviously, I'm sore, like muscle sore, like I haven't been doing all this shit for like 10 months now, so feeling good, feeling confident and happy to be going big again, going hard. Yeah, been chasing a few swells here and there. Eh? We chased one to Hawaii. We kind of got skunked. It was, we thought it was going to be big enough where it was like a few washthroughs, like some few crazy washthroughs, but it ended up being too big where there wasn't any. And then when it got small enough, it was kind of a weird swell, so it was a bit junky. And then we chased one to Fiji. That was pretty fun. And then it wasn't as good as we thought, but still it was pretty frothing to be back in some proper barrels and getting pitted. And then yeah, we just chased that the cyclone that hit the east coast of Australia. Again, we kind of, it was all right. We had fun, but nothing to write home about, that's for sure. Now we've just been to Waco. Waco was pretty sick. Different. It's something different hitting a section over and over and over, but also too, you got to time it, and if you time it wrong, you're either in the flats or you air off the back. So it's kind of, as much as it's a perfect ramp, it's still not that perfect, because even when you're racing to the section, you like got to adjust your feet when you can't even see the ramp. So it's kind of tricky, but it was fun. It served its purpose. I went there to try and do some airs and did some airs. Just some, I was doing a few, I don't know, I guess you could call it McTwist. Well, that's what they're called in snowboarding. Just with an indie grab, and then the front side one, I don't really know. It's just more of like an inverted air, like a bit more, I guess 360 or whatever they want to call it. I don't know. There's a bit of a controversy about saying an air reverse or whatever these days. And then yeah, tried a few alley-oops. To be honest, I fucking hate alley-oops. They're shit unless they're done really big. And I want to start trying to do some big alley-oops. So I've tried in past, but only went upside down, because I don't really understand how you go really high and do an alley-oop. Alrighty, catch you later. Fuck off then. See yous.
You can't know what you want when you continually kind of working. You need to slow down. Start with a hobby and see where it leads you. My name is Roshana Gray. I live and work in Cape Point. It's deliciously situated in between a mountainside and the ocean. Very elemental. It gets very windy and very hot in summertime and very cold in winter. I would say I was floating. I was first working in retail, and then after that I was working quite extensively in the food industry, traveling from my home, which was a box, in a little car, which was a box, to a little office, which was a box. But really it was counting down the hours until the job was over, and then my life would begin. That wasn't living for me.
She didn't know a lot about wild plants initially, moving here, but what she's done as well is sort of opened up everybody's eyes.
It all started with growing vegetables in my garden. Until a Japanese cyclist came to visit. He ended up staying for 99 days. Every so often he would go on his bike and he would drive off to the beach, and he would come back, and shortly afterwards I could smell these amazing cooking smells coming from his little campsite. He showed me the joys of the sea vegetables. He basically stood out there on the beach with me and he said, look at this, like all of this food, this is all amazing sea vegetables. Why is nobody eating them? From then on, my curiosity was sparked. Very interestingly enough, seaweeds change their nutritional value depending on what season it is. So, for instance, sea lettuce, which is a beautiful green seaweed that grows in the little intertidal pools, it's full of vitamin C in summer and vitamin D in winter, which is pretty perfect. It's designed for us. My interest in learning more of kind of tracking the edible landscape grew to such an extent that I couldn't keep it to myself anymore. When I first started, everybody thought I was completely crazy, and how could you possibly earn a living from going and collecting your food from the wild and showing people how to eat these weeds and things? And that's how the workshops were born. We take people down. It's like completely immersive, interactive learning. And I call it the full circle of learning, where basically you go into the rock pools. We have our like educational with your toes in the water. And then you have your exploring time where we set everybody free on the rocks to go and be free and be childlike and just have fun and explore all the different rock pools. It's quite beautiful to watch the process that happens throughout the workshop of gaining knowledge in the rock pools. They'll pick something, then we'll go and prepare it. We'll process the ingredients. They'll start to be able to identifying all the different species, start to call it by its name, forming a little bit of a relationship with these ingredients.
Take something that looks rather awful at first and you don't ever consider eating it, and to transform it into something that is just so mouthwatering and really also healthy. That was for me just a turning point.
I basically learned everything I know from Roshana. I'd studied to be a chef, and so it made so much sense to find a way to utilize ingredients from the wild, from my backyard.
Aligrekel, which is a herbivorous sea snail, was boiled in seawater, minced and mixed with nasturtium mayonnaise, sesame oil, red onions, herbs, and they were served up straight in their shells. Using the soft seaweeds like sea lettuce and rack that you can eat raw, we made sushi and decorated them with edible flowers. And then sitting down at the table with all this beautiful food that everybody has harvested and created into beautiful dishes, then it's like it's a magical moment of sitting down and appreciating everything and then enjoying it together. I'm proud of the fact that I've taken an idea and a thought, a very arty, romantic one, and it's kind of blossomed in its own way. Kind of changed my outlook on life. Don't not do something and then regret it. What's the worst that can happen? Spread your wings.
I feel clearly that this season can be mine, so I will do everything I can to finalize that.
The number 3 takes victory in race 1, an epic win. MX on 74, he bursts into life here in Magdeburg. It's going to be a very interesting first turn. Then Cairoli around the outside, and he and Koganov both go down.
Yeah, everything was going good, and then I had one big mistake. And
Ben Watson! Off the side of the bike, and Italy are going to be crowned world champions.
The WMX class often struggles for hype and attention. That changed when Courtney Duncan came into the picture. Before Duncan had even stepped foot onto an MXGP track, there was hype, excitement, talk about just how good she is and how good she can be. And she backed all of that up by going 1-1 in her first WMX event.
So I got my first bike when I was 7 years of age, and at that point it was kind of, just a hobby and something I did because my friends did. And it wasn't until I was about 12 or 13 I caught it on TV. At the time in New Zealand we had some pretty big superstars like Catherine Pram, Josh Coppins, Ben Townley overseas killing it on the world stage, and from that point it probably twisted my arm and made me think that's what I want to do. One day I'm going to be in that position, and one day I'm going to be going for a world title, and surely enough 10-15 years later here I am.
So Duncan now in second position and going after Olivia Lancelot. Well, there's been a lot of hype around this young 20-year-old from the South Island in New Zealand. Around the outside, good drive there, and goes through the inside. Great move there from Courtney Duncan, who now leads at the end of the fourth lap, and she goes past Lydia Lancelot. Will she be able to get her head down here now and take off at the front of the field? Final turn, checkered flag about to be raised for the first time of the year, and Courtney Duncan picks up 25 points, wins Moto number 1 here in Qatar. Get ready to go racing for the second time here. WMX race 2, round 1 in Qatar. So Duncan leads the way here on the very first lap in WMX race 2. 151, the JCR Yamaha rider from New Zealand, makes it a perfect evening here in Qatar. She double moto wins here at the opening round, and that is a big win for her.
Oh, it's bittersweet right now. I'm over the moon. It's been a tough week, and coming in, you don't know what to expect. It's the first time I've ever been to a GP, let alone race one. So just stoked to be able to be here, and I couldn't have done it without obviously my family. My dad's here, well, stepdad's here, and he's been unbelievable this week. Everyone over home's been just behind me so much. Obviously my team,
I raced Courtney when she was on I first saw her ride when she was on a 65, and she lined up in a women's race in Christchurch in New Zealand. And at that time I was leading all of the championships and winning everything. So yeah, she wasn't competitive because she was on a 65. I think I was on a 125 or a 250F. And but I do remember watching her ride and thinking, she's something special. Actually, her last name obviously Courtney Duncan, and she used to have short little hair and looked like a little boy, and we used to think, is it Courtney Duncan or Duncan Courtney? So that was like the inside joke. And but yeah, she's actually, now the way she rides in Europe is probably at 80% or 70% of her ability, because she just wants to finish races now after losing all those championships due to just bad luck, you know, like she's had a photographer walk in front of her. And
Oh, we've got Duncan, our race leader, is down, and she's taken a hit, trying to sort her visor out on her helmet.
Yeah, the girls cut the track one year, and it's been a disaster. And then yeah, she was made to race an MX2 race in France and broke her foot without even crashing, so she's lost a lot of titles through bad luck. And now she kind of just does everything she can to stay on the bike and win the titles rather than go all out there. But when she rides at 100% without worrying about anything else or looking at the bigger picture, she's, I think, even 5, 6, 7 seconds a lap faster. She rides that much toned back now. So when she sets the fastest lap time in time practice in the women's class this year, we know she can do that lap every single lap. That's not one fast lap, that's her pace.
When Courtney Duncan finally won a WMX championship in 2019, it wasn't a case of being excited and surprised. It was more of a case of being like, finally, because everyone in the paddock knew that Duncan was deserving of a WMX title. Misfortune just kept standing in her way.
And she is the 2019 FIM Motocross World Champion. And finally, she's done it.
And I'm lost for words, just, it's indescribable. I come out and I won my first race, and man, I expected big things out of myself and everyone around me also, and I just had to take my time and learn from all these mistakes and failures, and when we felt like quitting, we kept going, and here we are, world champion.
So when she finally got it done in 2019, it was more of a sigh of relief for everyone there that finally this impressive, amazing rider has got the job done. Duncan is similar to Jeffrey Hurlings in a lot of ways, where when she is healthy, when she is at her best, few people in the world think she can be beaten to a championship, and we've seen that now in 2019, 2020.
Here is Duncan, the #1 DRT Kawasaki. Third is enough to be crowned world champion for a second time.
This one's for everyone, you know, you just can't do this alone, so thank you. Woohoo!
Yeah, I don't know whether it's WMX or anything, but any world champion on a team is a plus if you market it right. You know, there's an audience for everything, and you know, for any product to be able to say, you know, they have a women's world champion is sort of demographically correct at the moment.
I think it was so tough because in 2016, my first pro race, I'd already set the bar so high for myself, coming out winning on debut, and you know, you think to yourself at the time, oh, this is going to be, you know, a little bit of a walk in the park, but you're just so naive and you're so young and you have so much to learn, and I made mistakes along the way, and I'm going to be honest and put my hand up and say a lot of them were my own fault. Just made stupid mistakes at costly times, and in the end they cost me race wins and cost me points, and ultimately that cost me championships. So I think I just had a lot of growing up to do. But it definitely tested me a lot. It tested the resilience, and there was times when I lay in bed, especially after losing that first World Cup with the injury, and thinking, do I want to do this? Do I want to keep going? But looking back at it, yeah, I'm definitely glad I did, and it's just something that you have to persevere with the time and learn from the lessons, and I can say it all paid off.
Check out those lines in the sighting lap, okay? because there is a lot more. There's a few different lines that they weren't taking in practice. That you can go inside a little bit more, even coming along the pit lane straight as well. They're going quite far out. I think you can come in a bit more here.
You know, one thing about Courtney is she sort of rides. You know, you wouldn't know if she was a guy. You know, she's sort of, you know, corner speed and the way she sort of floats around the track is sort of pretty amazing. I'd say she has, you know, more corner speed than quite a lot of riders.
But here we are, temperatures 16 degrees, barely a cloud in the sky over the Dolomite Mountains here. It is the most picturesque racetrack that we have in Europe, possibly.
Not having, you know, your friends and family and comfort there can be tough sometimes, especially after a bad day, especially after a bad performance. But then again, like, when I pack my bags and say goodbye to my family, you know, there's a huge purpose behind that. You know, you're flying 24 hours on the airplane to the other side of the world on your own, and I'm not just doing that to fill the gates. Like I say, I'm doing that because the purpose is to be a world champion, and I think it definitely drives me that extra bit further.
You ready? No panic. No panic. Doesn't matter if you get a bad start, nothing, just keep it. Look what happened last week. You get a bad start and you come through to first, so.
And the riders just making their way into position.
Going far. You want to push or you good? Good luck.
Pretty much a full lineup here today. WMX. Race 1 is underway. And that was Giorgia Montini. Oh, Montanesi upside down on the top of the hill. Has that pretty much decided the championship, because Montanesi did not look too impressed with that move and was looking a little bit slow to get back to the bike there. So if it stays like this, Duncan will be crowned world champion for the 3rd time. Courtney Duncan, though, is world champion for the 3rd time. Well, she puts all of that to bed here, and she can celebrate as a world champion for the 3rd successive time.
What a feeling, man, to do it 3 times in a row, you know, with the same team, the same brand is, it's amazing. Words don't describe it.
The 2021 MXGP series has been phenomenal. The best ever, you could say. It could have been even better though. We were missing a star in Jeremy Sewer. He was on track, sure, but he dealt with so many obstacles throughout the season, mainly illnesses, sickness, that just stopped him from reaching his highest level until the very end. Imagine if he had been healthy the whole time. We could have had another rider in this phenomenal 5-way title fight.
Yeah, it's just amazing, you know, to, you know, experience this kind of stuff, doing our job, doing my job as an athlete, and using, you know, the free days to find some places like that, and, you know, find some freedom for your mind, you know, get some rest and really be by yourself, enjoy the view, enjoy the nature, because nature has a lot of strength, you know. It's quiet here, you don't hear any noise, and it's just amazing to be here, and it gives me a lot of mental strength, and calms me down, clears my mind, and once I hit the trails back down, it's back to action mode, and I feel like I have all the energy again to line up on the start gate and perform.
It's a chilly day here in Trentino for this 16th round. Jeremy Sewer as relaxed as ever. He's there in 6th place in the championship, 13 behind Tony Cagliaroli now. If the last 2 rounds have been anything to go by, then we are definitely going to be spoiled by the time we leave. 5 seconds. Who is it going to be that grabs that foxhole shot here? MXGP Race 1. Middle of the gate. It's one of the Yamahas. It's Sewer. He's got his teammate Colton up behind him. Febra's in there as well. So too Prado. Sewer leads the way by 2 seconds over Prado. Koldenhoff trying to go around the outside in 3rd. Guy Safor, the Monster Energy Yamaha rider, in control right from the very first lap. Last race win was race 1 here, the penultimate round. last year. Well, the gap all of a sudden coming right down. We are going to have a last lap showdown. It's only 2.2 seconds between Siwa and Fevre. Oh, Fevre down! Pushing too hard. Jeremy Siwa is going to take his first win of the season, his first win in a year, his 11th career race win. Jeremy Siwa, take a bow.
Yeah, as I said, after the first moto, you know, MXGP at the moment is tough, especially those three battling for the title. They go all in, they have to, so I try to do my best, and to win a GP, I'm speechless right now. I've never felt like this for a while, and it's amazing, you know. I won a GP last year, but it wasn't the same. Now I crossed the finish line and I knew this one is mine, and it's incredible. A big thanks to all around me, especially like my mechanic. He's working day and night for me, and he brought me back where I am now, and now this is amazing. Thanks all of you.
Remember that Maxime Renaux was not even a factory rider 1 year ago. He had one GP win under his belt. That came in Italy in September 2020. And when he took the second GP win of his career in Great Britain in June of this year, it wasn't a surprise, but it was more a case of everyone thinking, oh, this rider can win the occasional race, the occasional Grand Prix. No one expected this to then become a regular thing. No one expected him to then become a dominant force. If anything, expectations were set at him becoming a podium regular. Quite low in comparison to what he's actually achieved, and now here we are, just a couple of rounds from the end of the championship, and he can win his first MX2 title with 2 rounds to spare.
And you can see everybody here enjoying the occasion here at this 16th round. Well, as the atmosphere continues to build, let's take a look at the top 5 in the championship as we head into MX2 Race 2. Maxime Renaux now 101 points clear of Jago Geerts, which means if he finishes ahead of Geerts and Vial, he can be crowned world champion here today. MX2 Race 2, all eyes towards the right-hand side, centre of the gate, and once again, Tom Vial in there, Renaux to the outside. He's at the inside of his teammate, Beniston, and Jago Geerts in there as well. And the lead has changed hands. Renaux leads on lap 5. It's been a tough journey for him to overcome the injuries, the adversity, to turn it around, to continue to work hard. He can't believe it. And Maxime Renaux will round out the final turn. He has realised his lifelong ambition. He is crowned MX2 World Champion, and he does it with a win. He does it with the Grand Prix victory.
Maxime Renaux is an unexpected champion, but not unexpected in the sense that no one thought he could do it. Unexpected in the sense that it happened so quickly. I don't think even Yamaha, the contracts prove it. Yamaha didn't expect him to win this soon. No one did, let alone by such a healthy margin. Winning with 2 rounds to spare is no joke, but that speaks to just how phenomenal he's been this year.
I've been through so much tough moments and really big injury a couple of years ago, and could never even dream about that. And now today I'm here, I'm world champion, and just could make it happen with such a great team with Yamaha, Monster Energy. So I'm just the happiest today.
Welcome back to Italy for the final round of the FIM Motocross World Championship. It's round 18. It's taken a while to get here, obviously, for obvious reasons, but we are here in Mantova for the MXGP of Città di Mantova.
It's hard to believe that the MXGP class is coming down to the final round. It's so rare for a championship fight to actually come down to the final round or moto, let alone it be this close. We've got 3 riders who can win this thing quite easily. They're all capable, they've all proven they're capable. There is no way to predict how this thing is going to go, and that means it's an exciting time to be a fan. I've been really impressed with Fevre this season. No matter what happens, no matter if he wins this championship or not, this has been a real resurgence for him. He's going to have to go through Jeffrey Hurlings, and that's a rider that no one wants to face in a title battle.
people from the outside see him as quite a special guy. I mean, one that's maybe quite hard to crack, let's say, and kind of work out. For me, when I was in the 250, I was able to train with him together with Jackie, and yeah, we just got along good. I mean, there was no competition between us, you know, we was in separate classes, and yeah, just had a great friendship actually, and was able to work together really good, you know, on the track, off the track, with cycling. And yeah, I think he's one of those guys for me who is straight. He's not about all the bullshit of you need to be on this program and eating this, and he's just straight. He focuses on his job and gets it done.
I came there and I knew this guy became world champion, so he's good at something, you know. So I tried to watch him and see what he does, and he did do his thing. This is what I learned. Like, didn't matter what happened, who was there, what influenced him, negative things. He just followed his path, and he didn't turn left or right for anybody. He just hold his line, and I think that's what is making him good. And
talking to other riders about you, they think that your two strengths are being mentally strong and also your aggression. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yes, yeah, no, I agree. And like you say also, I had some many bad years, bad injury, and sometimes I wasn't good enough. And I came back to fight and to be just better every year. And seems this year it's working pretty well. But you don't know what's gonna happen, you know. Sometimes you can, tomorrow I can get injured in 2 weeks or whatever. It's just you have to be really strong mentally. It's what I think I am, and you have to have some aggression also on the track to fight for the first position.
Coming into the final race then, Jeffrey Hurlings, Romain Febvre, they are tied on points. The only other time we've seen this, 1988, the 1-2-5 season, Jean-Michel Bayle and Dave Strybos. After race one, going into the final round, both riders were tied for the lead with just one race remaining. Bayle won from Strybos to win the championship by 3. Who is it going to be today though? Fans on their feet. The anticipation is through the roof. We've got a green flag for the final time this year. The Fly Racing 15-second board is up. XGP, race 2 is go. A good jump once again, and it's Febvre who squeezes Hurlings to the inside. Jorge Prado once again. And the top two in the championship, line astern as they go through there, and also Geiser splits Febvre and Hurlings. Is a direct shootout between the top two in the world right now, Romain Febvre and Jeffrey Hurlings, by leading Hurlings. Hurlings finds his way past. The fans have got exactly what they want to see. Oh, Febvre is down, coming out of the turn. It's hard and slick there as well. Jeffrey Hurlings a lap away from taking his 5th world title. Jeffrey Hurlings out of the final turn is the 2021 MXGP World Champion. He joins Roger de Costa, Joe Robert, Georges JBay, Joel Smets as a 5-time world champion.
A lot of people wanted to know what I would have done if I didn't win this championship this year again. I guess we'll never know.
There you have it then. Jeffrey Hurlings wins the 2021 MXGP title, and deservedly so.
Yeah, I feel mad to myself for sure, but that's racing. It's the hard way to lose, but it's like this. I gave my all, and Yeah, at the moment it's really tough, but yeah, I will go through and then battle next year.
Okay, thanks very much.
The 2021 MXGP series is going to be remembered for a very long time. 2022 could be even better though. Jeffrey Hurlings is going to be back to defend his crown. Roman Fevre is going to come out with a vengeance. Tim Geiser is going to want to reclaim the crown that he's lost, and that's not even mentioning Jorge Prado, Jeremy Sewer, and Maxime Renault. The MX2 World Champion is ditching his YZ250 FM and stepping up into the MXGP class for the first time with Monster Energy Yamaha Factory MXGP.
Back to you, Ronnie. How's his bomb? Did you see that one he went over on? I mean, it looks sick that he went. First wave at the box. Did pretty good, I reckon.
Parker, you don't even have fins.
No, but where I'm going, I don't need fins.
Put it in the sun, I guess. I've been surfing for that long. I've been surfing for 20 years, mate.
There he is.
I mean, I've been surfing for 20 years, mate.
Yeah.
You know?
35.
Think about that. Think about that. 20 years.
Wrap your head around that.
I've been surfing for fucking 20 years, mate.
35.
Toby's been surfing for 25 years. I was surfing in the 90s. See this kid, he's only been surfing for like 5 years or something. I've been surfing for 20 years. That was fucked up, eh? Can't believe how rolled I got. And the Grum was just like, so onto it. He just pulled the pin at the best time. Oh, fuck this, and just left, and I was like, oh.
You got so stranded.
And I was like, oh yeah, fuck, good call. And then I was like, oh fuck, I'm done.
I've been surfing for 20 years, mate. This means working, bro. Yep. There he is.
Cut the mustard out there with the big boys.
You wrote the book on mustard. Kando's Mustard. Mustering Mustard by Creeping Taggart. Hey.
Thanks, Jenno.
Hey, that guy. Yeah, strange. We got our box and it's like 6-8 foot.
Alright, so let's go.
Put
When I first moved to the city, I got a job with a million daddy.
$4.50 for one water, 7 for 2 or 8 for 3.
When we drove offside, I didn't know my arse from my elbow. I was a flake and a space cadet. I've been adopted by all of the old mates. They could tell I hadn't found a father yet, and it made me happy. Waking up before the dawn, and it made me happy. I had something to wake up for. Got my old job for the summer, spraying weeds for Melbourne water. In the Ford Ranger, high vis and respirator. I hear the noisy miner and the waterbird calling out. I feel like an Eastern Rosella. I got something to sing about.
It's always a pleasure to travel with you, you know that.
Waking up before the dawn, and it makes me happy. I got something to wake up Red light through the window panes in the sleepy suburban homes. Later I'll be walking through the waterways, bush crew in the biome. I hear the growling grass frogs calling out to all his mates. I wanna call my father. I didn't see him on my birthday. Still makes me happy. Waking up before the dawn still makes me happy. I got something to wake up for.
Talk to us about your time in West Oz.
Fuck, I don't really know what to say.
Have you got waves?
Yeah.
When I think of Sam Hill, I think quiet guy, but when he swings his leg over a bike, he makes things happen, he does special things. All those years that I raced against him, he definitely lifted it up a notch and was a real tough competitor.
Yeah, like nothing else that anyone had ever seen it down on before.
Smooth on the bike and let the bike go. It's insane.
He literally changed the game, and we take inside lines because he just takes it inside and it's called Sam Hill.
Flat pedal.
Fast. And when I was growing up, I was, trying to be Sam Hill. I wasn't trying to be anyone else. I just wanted to be as quick and look exactly the same as Sam Hill.
I'm Sam Hill, I'm 35 and I'm from Perth, West Australia. Pretty much been riding bikes my whole life. I started racing motocross at a young age and then went into BMX and then discovered mountain biking when I was about 12. Fell in love with mountain biking and started going overseas when I was 16. The trails in Perth, we've got a pretty big variety of stuff really, depending on where you go. Sort of rocky, loose gravel, and then we've got a few good spots in the pine trees with a bit of loam and more tree roots and that sort of thing. So. Yeah, I think a lot of people ask me how I sort of train for the longer runs and that with only having shorter hills in Perth, but I guess just got to pedal up more times and come down more times to sort of make up for it. I love going away and racing, but I love to come home and yeah, be back with my family and kids and riding my local trails as well. These are a few of me downhill world champs rainbow jerseys from winning. Yeah, those two are both junior world titles, and then 3 elite downhill world titles. So pretty special. One of the probably only things that I've got in the house of my own memorabilia. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's champagne or vomit or whatever happened at the party after the race with that one. So that's how it is. It's up there in the frame. Average week for me at home between the races, obviously do it a lot with the kids. I usually take them to school, then I try to go to the gym, and then after the gym try to do a mountain bike ride. I can usually just ride from home. I've got trails pretty close to me. Try to ride the motorbike when I can and have chance to do that, and yeah, just be a dad and do some stuff with the kids and make it fun. Yeah, I've always believed that riding a motorbike, the skills cross over to riding your mountain bike. I think when I ride that and go back to the mountain bike, everything's sort of slowed down a bit, where I feel I can push the mountain bike faster. Obviously I've got a plan during the off season that revolves around my training and what I'm doing week to week and that sort of thing. I've got an awesome group of people down at the gym that help me out. Ben and Cara, they've been awesome helping me with the gym stuff and that side of things. I'm heading into 2021. I'm hoping that we get to go and run a full race season. Yeah, obviously didn't get to go away this year in 2020, and I'm looking forward to getting back with the team and being able to get back on the podium. What motivates me is wanting to do my best, and yeah, I've got the number 1 on my back, and I want to keep it on there. I think it's just the freedom of it. I think no matter what's going on in life, if you're stressed out or having a hard time with anything, you can sort of jump on your bike, go up in the bush and ride, and yeah, all that stress and whatever's going on seems to disappear, and all you're worried about is riding and having fun, and it's a good way to clear your mind, I think. Keep going, no chance of winning, see that horror.
Exceeds expectations. Angelique's is really good.
Hello.
So we're just arriving at the African Perfection. Here's where we're staying for the next few nights. And it's the Aloe again, which has like this communal area upstairs, a really nice pool table game, which Chloe's so excited to have, and Angelique already found a cat.
So this is our room. The girls get a bunk bed and I get the big double bed. Really nice and spacious. This is the game room. They have pool and the soccer game. We are in the shared area that has a kitchen and a TV and a living room and a game room.
We're going to discover a beautiful waterfall. What I'm expecting it to be is going to be like a waterfall with a zip line going into a lagoon. That's what I think it's going to be.
Monday night
curry night. And so you go and you weigh your food, and then so you pay for what you eat. And it looks delicious, really good.
So here is where you can go and see some like dolphins and whales watching. So that's quite cool. You can go there. Here is the shop store. They have Roxy and a whole bunch of different surfing stores.
That's
right
called
here.
Surf Village.
So lots of surf shops and everything you can do for surfing.
And they have surf camps and everything down here. So as you can see, it's a really kind of small little area, but it has a lot to offer in just a small little area with shops and inns. There's inns everywhere all along the coast. All right, off we go for a day in Jeffreys Bay. We're gonna go experience the Shell Museum. That's really a big highlight to go see if you're here. And we're also going to maybe hit up some of the stores because we haven't seen all of them, and as girls, we've got to go see all the options first, right? So that's what we're gonna do. So first stop before we hit the Shell Museum is we're gonna go check out and see if we see any of the surfers, because where we're staying is kind of shared accommodations and they're out here surfing, so we can see, and we're gonna see if we can spot any of those dolphins that we're looking for too. Let's see. Chloe, can you see really good with your binoculars? Sort of? Is it them?
What?
Is it them?
I don't think so.
No? Watch this, girls. See this big wave coming at her? Do you think she's gonna hit it? Here she goes. She's starting to paddle. And oh, she missed it. Oh. Here comes another big wave. I think she's gonna try and ride this one. Here she goes. Paddles, 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 and she's up. Yay, she did it. So here we bumped into this guy here, JJ, and JJ, he's gonna give us a personal tour. And so it's not something that's like mandatory that he has to do, but he's doing that, and he does that for most visitors coming here, and then that way you get to learn about all the different shells and everything that it has to offer.
This is our Jeffreys Bay shells. These are all the shells that have been picked up here on our Jeffreys Bay coast. But then, because we call it the Jeffreys Bay shells, it doesn't necessarily mean that these shells, you won't find them anywhere else in the world. You might find maybe one or two of these shells along your eastern coast of South Africa. So basically your warm waters, you might find maybe one or two of the Jeffreys Bay shells along those coasts there. This shell right here, that all gone out today, we call it a paper nautilus shell. The thing is, you see with that shell, it's a very soft shell, it's very delicate, it breaks very easy. Now right over here, I've got this sample, you can take it there, man.
Want to feel it, girls?
Yeah, I've got a sample there for you guys to feel how soft the shell is. And I've got a picture here of how it looks. This is how the animal looks with the shell still intact with the animal. They come from the octopus family.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
The mouth of the whale?
Yeah. So it's just a small piece from that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's just a small piece from that. You see, what happens is the whales use that to filter the food that they're gonna be eating. So what happens is when it's time for a whale to feed, it would swallow like these gallons of liters of water, right?
Yeah.
And then whatever comes in with the water gets filtered or gets stuck in those hairs on that thing there, and then that's what the whale is gonna be eating for the time being there.
So which ones are they, girls, that we were supposed to remember? Those red berry shells. Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got this one right here, the world record-sized shell for Jeffreys Bay.
So this is the biggest shell they found in Jeffreys Bay.
Yeah, so they call it the big shell of Jeffreys Bay.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one they've found so far. Here. So there you go. That is so cool.
There's a animal, there's a dog, there's more mouse.
That is so neat.
Cool facts about seahorses is that when they lay their eggs, the female lays the eggs in the husband or the male, because the male has a pouch, almost like a kangaroo. So the male keeps it for about 40 to 45 days, right? And apparently they're very playful, like the little babies. They don't eat anything that's already dead, so it has to be alive.
And what was it saying about, like, it's strange looking? It looks like a pony. It's got breasts like a pigeon, a tail like a monkey, eyes of a chameleon.
was the one to judge. You said you had enough and that you really wanna be with me. What you get is more than what you see. At first you struck me like any other girl that I could find. But when you looked me in the eyes, I knew that this was right. You're a pretty girl with a pretty name, but I'm pretty sure that you're not the same. Feels like you read my mind, and there's more than meets the eye. With you, with you, with you, oh, with you, with you, with you, oh. I was the one to judge. You said you had enough and that you really wanna be with me. What you get is more than what you see. At first you struck me like.
Yeah.
We are now officially done our first lesson of surfing in Jeffreys Bay.
Pretty girl with a pretty name, but I'm
Now having lunch at the in-food restaurant.
and there's more than meets the eye. Pretty girl,
Shopping. We love shopping.
that you're not the same. Feels like you read my mind, and there's more than meets the eye.
I thought it'd be really cool to show you guys where we're staying because it's kind of unique, has a really nice atmosphere here, and it's a co-sharing home. So here, let's go on a quick tour. So when you come in, this is what the house looks like, and Julia's there. She's going to show us. It has like the whole upstairs unit and everything. So let's start by showing our rooms, I guess, where we're staying.
So this is like where you come in, there's rooms. These are our rooms. Us girls. And this one's my parents.
Yeah. So the room's like huge and spacious.
They have like a small kitchen, bathroom,
Yeah.
nice bed, and it leads outside, which is really nice. We have a little nice sitting area.
Uh-huh.
And it comes up to this like relax area.
Yeah, so everything's shared. So everyone has access to this facility and space. Here they have a like hammock in the far corner, and it looks like here you can have bonfires and just a nice evening of sitting. So let's go back around. It's definitely like Jeffreys Bay that you get all the surfers, so all the surfers are here. Angelique, do you want to show me your room really fast? Yeah. Okay, show me. We'll go back over here and then I'll show you upstairs. Here they have a zone where you can like share books, leave books. And then this is the girls' room. Hopefully it's not too messy. Looks good. So they get their own bed here, and then they've got a whole bunk bed set up and their own bathroom. So that's pretty cool. And then let's go upstairs and show them upstairs.
Okay, so when you come up here, first you have your kitchen, like this. It's a nice big kitchen. It's very organized, so you know where everything is.
Yeah, they did a good job at that. They put like all the different signs for everything so you know where everything goes.
You have like this little sink here. Then each room gets their own cabinet with their label on it. So shared fridges. It's nice and big.
Fridges, and then the dishes area over there.
Then right here is the sharing cupboard. So everyone puts whatever they want to share in there.
That's cool.
Or they want to leave. You have this like sitting area.
It's really well like made up, so there's like this whole space there.
Yeah. Sitting area, there's some games, which is fun to do. Then you have like your lounge area,
This is smart for the young kids. They even put like Legos and stuff. I thought that was really just brilliant. And then there's even sand toys. I don't know if you guys caught on to that. And then all the games, like Julia said. They have the most comfiest couches, don't they?
Yeah, this one's like so comfortable.
So this is the whole area, and then
you have pool and a cruise boat.
that's the coolest thing ever, isn't it?
Then you have a nice view of the ocean.
That is phenomenal. This is just like amazing. And then a sitting area out here, and then yeah, the most beautiful view of the ocean.
Thanks for watching our tour of Jeffreys Bay, South Africa. Stay tuned for our next episode on Knysna on the Garden Route. Please subscribe and give us a big thumbs up. Bye!
我中文名字叫刘丹，刘丹象征着我传统的这一面。然后我的英文名叫 Darcy。Darcy 它给予我的生命又不一样。我可以追求人生自己的梦想。我第一次见到大海的时候，好像是19岁，很震撼的感觉。我就知道我的灵魂跟我的心是属于大海的。 我内心很平静。但是，而且我是来自一个小山城，离大海非常远的一个地方。我是来自湖北恩施的，我妈妈也是，从小到大一直都生活在这个小城市，没有在大城市去生活过。然后在我们的环境中，我们不去学游泳。首先，觉得海，我们对海的定义就是危险。从小我父母就送我去学舞蹈，可能是期望我当一名舞蹈老师，然后住在恩施，在那儿成家立业，过上幸福的生活。这是他们期待的我的未来发展是怎样子的。那不适合我，那我一定是要去选择这个过程。就打包了行李，就搬来了三亚。啊，我也选到来海南三亚，也是因为来了三亚，我也冲浪。接触冲浪之后，我才有这个机会参加比赛，全世界最强大的一个长板比赛。因为这个比赛它是在海南这边举行的，所以当时他们有一个外卡，要邀请本地的外卡选手，所以他们要选择一个女子来参加这个比赛嘛，我就是唯一的一个选择在那边。而且跟我一起比赛的是，他就是上一届的世界冠军，然后我跟他在同一组比，那就根本不叫比赛，我跟他没有办法比。我的父母在最开始我接触冲浪的时候，他们的第一反应绝对是觉得我这个太危险了，浪那么大，会有鲨鱼啊。不管是我掉在水里面，我被反撞到，那个水呛到我鼻子里面，一切。但是，我觉得我出生以来我就有这个能力，拥抱一切的未知的那种勇气。我当时接收到那个外卡邀请，这就是一个学习的机会。我当时就是一个觉得自己非常幸运，就从那个时候开始，就已经在改变我的人生轨迹的故事了。我冲浪4年之后，就成为了一名职业冲浪运动员，中国的第一个冲浪者，第一个把冲浪文化带来中国。在我开始学冲浪的时候，它就是空白的，是没有的。我们在最开始学冲浪的时候，第一是没有板的，像现在你在中国学冲浪，你在哪儿都可以租板。我觉得我现在的工作就是传递、去分享冲浪的生活方式、冲浪的文化，可以给别人希望，还可以帮助到别人。尊重大海。有一天，然后你回头一看，哇，发现现在的我跟以前的我有好大的差距。冲浪是有改变我跟我妈妈的关系的。等一下我们切完这个，吃完饭了我们就去冲浪啊。好啊，教你冲浪。特别是去年的时候，是他第一次，站在冲浪板上。他说：“哎，我都50多岁了。”我说：“你可以的。” 然后他冲得很好，我觉得他很有天赋，一下就站起来了。我觉得我们现在的关系更像是姐妹。但是我很感恩，很感恩。原来我选择的这个生活方式，就是影响了很多人。
This season was just a really special one, you know. The world stopped for a moment in the middle of the season and took a breath, and so did we. We might have been limited to where we could travel, but we're lucky enough to find some of the lifts here open, and we get to really tune into our home mountains with no distractions of tourism. You know, no lift lines, no après-ski, no traffic jam. No hotels or even restaurants open, so it was just amazing time. I mean, there was no airplanes in the sky. You could finally hear the mountain again. Wildlife came out, and it was just like back in the 70s, I imagine, you know, so quiet, pristine, and untracked for so long. It really brought the pace down, and we got to explore close by and just meet our friends within Austria, and that's about it, right? When you get reminded that the next adventure is close by.
In my mind, still a second too late. Anticipated a minute delay. Complicating the little things. Talking back to the voice in my head. I think the ashes in the garden are painting a picture. The plants look exactly like me. When they talk about the bugs on the sidewalk, the dirt
Fuck you, Creed, eh? Like camera, I told you if you don't film some good shit, bro. Fuck you up.
Middle of September, hot heads breaking down the levee. Hot heads, end of an era. Hot heads, back to school day. Why wait to get your head beat? Main Street is waiting still. Suck home or suck in eyes. Main Street is waiting still. Driving down the sweaty bus, in the car and on the crowd. Driving down the sweaty bus, in the car and on the crowd. Hot heads writing the news. Hot heads reading out eulogies. Our house is filled with nothing. Our house is filled with fear. Driving round the sweaty bus, in the car and on the prowl. Driving round the sweaty bus, in the car and on the prowl. Hot heads, middle of September. Hot heads, back to school days. Hot heads, middle of September. Hot heads, back to school days. Hot heads, middle of September. Hot heads, back to school days. Hot heads, middle of September. Hot heads, back to school days.
Fucking craziest way. I wish I was in Bali.
chocolate. Oh la la. Oh la la. Edgy guys at the bars, you know, they put their back on like this. They walk up to the nose, they walk back. It's all very easy, but you have to look cool while you're doing it. So you do not zip up, you don't put your arms in. Just walk up like this. The wind blowing like this, and you get the shot.
Hey there, sis, what's that tune you've been humming round these empty rooms? Sing it loud, just for me. You know I need just one more melody. And if there's land above those clouds, I've made sure no chance of finding out. Can we wait just one more day? Keep that light shining my way, 'cause it feels like I'm crucified and the dogs they fight, and nothing's left, nothing's right. It feels like I'm alone tonight, I'm not home tonight, yeah, and nothing's left, nothing's right. Lighting up my face, crying for the sound, were just as sweet as those masses roaring on the field. 'Cause it feels like I'm crucified, and the dogs they bite, and nothing's left, nothing's right. It feels like I'm alone tonight, I'm not home tonight, yeah, and nothing's left, nothing's right. It feels like I'm crucified, and the dogs they bite, and nothing's left, nothing's right. It feels like I'm alone tonight, I'm not home tonight, yeah, and nothing's left, nothing's right.
Only go in the
No, yeah. You actually just want the coolant to go around the end.
Yeah, it's all about the radio fluid, needs flushing.
It does, it's his answer.
Yeah, it's fuck off dunks.
Fuck! I hope they use all of this footage, eh?
What does the Drakensberg mean to me? Well, in a word, it's widescreen. It's a cinematic landscape. It stretches from horizon to horizon. It's just huge. The mountains here are very distinctive. Their jagged peaks just pierce the horizon, and instantly you know you're in the Drakensberg because no other mountains in the world look like this. Everywhere you look, there's a great shot. The plant and animal life is amazing. I've just been stunned by the variety of birds, and there's such a sense of tranquility. It's just beautiful. The landscape seems untouched, but you look and there's rock art everywhere. It really makes me feel connected to the people who have lived here thousands and thousands of years before. But I think it's those wide open skies of the Drakensberg that will stay with me. That's what I'm going to remember.
Welcome back in our studio, and in today's news,